Have you ever taken a personality test, read the results, and thought, wow, that's me exactly? What if I told you those incredibly accurate insights might have been a clever trick, designed to make you believe they were tailor-made just for you? This isn't a flaw in your thinking, it's a fascinating psychological phenomenon that explains why everything from horoscopes to online quizzes can feel so eerily precise. It's called the Barnum Effect, and it's something we all fall for. To understand why we're so susceptible, let's journey back to the origins of personality testing. The first modern standardized personality test, the Woodworth Personal Data Sheet, or WPDS, emerged in 1917. It aimed to identify soldiers vulnerable to shell shock, now known as PTSD. However, World War I ended just as it was ready for widespread deployment, limiting its initial use. This early version featured about 125 yes or no questions, including some rather curious ones like, do you think you have hurt yourself by going too much with women? Despite its limited initial rollout, Woodworth's pioneering work established a foundation for future personality assessments. Early tests were heavily influenced by industrial interests, focusing on adjustment, how well individuals conform to societal and workplace norms. Essentially, they sought to identify those who might challenge the status quo, or worse, advocate for unionization, a perceived threat to business. The Hum-Wadsworth scale, for instance, gained glowing coverage in a 1942 Reader's Digest article, fitting the worker to the job. Companies like Lockheed Aircraft used it to scientifically match employees to roles, asking questions like, do you like to pass along a good story, or do you like to see the villain punished? These tests claim to reveal traits like emotional tendencies or whether someone was a lone wolf. But seeming scientific and being based on high-quality research are often two very different things. In 1949, researcher and college professor Bertram Forer began questioning the validity of these personality profiles. He famously remarked that most were no more specific than stating a person has opposable thumbs, meaning they were true for almost everyone. To prove his point, Forer conducted an experiment with his introductory psychology students. He administered a questionnaire, promising each student a unique, personalized assessment. In reality, every student received the exact same list of 13 general, vaguely flattering, and universally relatable statements. Remarkably, only one student rated their profile below a 4 out of 5 for accuracy. The vast majority felt their results were spot on. This phenomenon is now known as the Barnum Effect, named after P.T. Barnum, the legendary showman known for captivating and often manipulating audiences. It describes our tendency to believe that generic personality descriptions apply specifically to us, regardless of how much effort went into their creation. These broad, generalized assessments are aptly called Barnum profiles, all show, no substance. Why are humans so susceptible? Researchers propose several reasons. Firstly, the statements are crafted to be broadly applicable, even if individuals perceive them as highly specific to themselves. Studies show people often believe a Barnum profile applies more to them than to the general population. Secondly, we have a natural desire to believe favorable things about ourselves. Even negative traits in a profile are often softened with a positive spin, like, your temper sometimes gets the better of you, but deep down, you have a heart of gold. Confirmation bias also plays a role. We tend to seek out and interpret information that confirms our existing beliefs, while overlooking contradictory evidence. It's likely a combination of these factors that makes Barnum profiles so convincing. Once you recognize this pattern, you'll see it everywhere, from horoscopes and fortune-telling to how large language models like ChatGPT can generate vague yet seemingly insightful statements. Certain traits can make individuals more prone to accepting Barnum profiles. Those with a weaker sense of self-image, for instance, may look to external sources, like astrologers or online quizzes, to define who they are. Similarly, individuals with an external locus of control, feeling they have little influence over their own lives, are often more receptive. Furthermore, if you receive a positive assessment, you're more likely to deem the entire test accurate. Imagine I invented the Curious Sage's ultra-awesome personality matrix and it told you you're intelligent, witty, kind, and have fabulous hair. You'd likely rave to your friends about its incredible accuracy. The perception of extensive data also boosts credibility. A horoscope based on your exact birth date and time feels more legitimate than one based only on your birth month. Likewise, a 50-question test seems more robust than a 10-question one, even if the results are identical. This is great news for my new, improved 800-question questionnaire. Don't forget your snacks. Despite Forer's early revelations, personality tests remain incredibly popular, often claiming scientific backing. But have we truly cracked the code for accurate personality assessment in the modern era? It's complicated. The Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, or MBTI, has been around for over half a century. This proprietary questionnaire categorizes people into one of 16 personality types based on 4 binary scales: introversion versus extroversion, sensing versus intuition, thinking versus feeling, and judging versus perceiving. The current online version has 93 questions, feeding into that perception of data richness we just discussed. MBTI even offers certification courses for administrators, emphasizing its use in the workplace to optimize team dynamics. Given this extensive development, you might expect robust scientific validation. However, independent studies tell a different story. A key measure of a test's reliability is test-retest reliability, whether individuals get the same result when taking the test multiple times. Studies on MBTI show that up to half, or even more, of participants receive a different result for at least one of the 4 categories upon retesting. The internet, however, is filled with testimonials praising MBTI's accuracy, both for individuals and their friends. Regardless of the data, it remains an immensely popular system for categorizing personalities. This leads us to a fundamental question: is it even possible to accurately evaluate personality using a survey or questionnaire? Is this a losing battle? Not necessarily. Researchers continue to develop statistically validated tools, such as the Big 5 personality trait model. This model rates individuals on a spectrum, low, medium, or high, across 5 dimensions: extroversion, neuroticism, openness, conscientiousness, and agreeableness. These tests, and their newer variations, generally exhibit better test-retest reliability. Their strength lies in accumulating data from extensive, long-term studies since the 1990s. The Big 5 is also rooted in the lexical hypothesis: if a personality trait is significant, languages will have words to describe it. Researchers analyzed personality descriptors across multiple cultures and languages to identify these universal traits. However, there's a significant caveat: most Big 5 data originates from what researchers term weird countries: Western, educated, industrialized, rich, and democratic. This framework serves as a reminder that findings from such unique societies may not universally apply. Indeed, evidence suggests the Big 5 model doesn't work as effectively for non-weird populations. Clearly, much work remains to truly understand personalities across all cultures. Beyond cultural biases, even the best tests face inherent limitations. Questionnaire-style tests typically use forced choice measures, selecting from predetermined options. While easy to administer and grade, this rigidity can oversimplify nuance, failing to capture how personalities evolve over time or vary with context. We've all wished for an other option on a multiple-choice question. This suggests that creating a universally accurate questionnaire for personality might be an impossible endeavor. So, if you've ever felt a deep connection to your horoscope, MBTI result, or any other personality assessment, understand that it's not an intellectual failing. It's simply human nature. Personalities are far more complex, varied, and dynamic than any single test can capture. After all, I'm certainly too intricate to be summarized by one simple assessment. My ultra-awesome personality matrix report told me so.